Welcome inside the ACC-DN studios. Tom Wormy along with a couple of ACC legends, Mike Gminski, JR Reid, and these guys were top 10 picks in the NBA draft, and it's a huge night in the NBA. We're going to see who goes from the ACC. But first, we want to get your impressions. We want to turn back the clock. Because, Mike, you were back in 1980 as the number 7 pick overall, 89 for you, JR Reid, as the number 5. Mike, it's been a while, but tell me about those draft day memories.
Well, there was no digital network. It wasn't carried live on any TV. But you know what? The process was so much different. There was no draft combine. The Nets came down and interviewed me. It's the only team that did interview me during that whole process. I flew up to New York. I knew that's where I was going to get drafted. But I think the one thing that's consistent, JR, is the anticipation and the anxiety before you get picked, and then the relief after it happens.
Absolutely, Mike, because you never know what's going to happen. And my memories of it, the whole draft, were spent here in Charlotte where I was selected. Instead of going to New York, I stayed in Charlotte, went to the Coliseum, got a chance to meet the fans right away that night, the owner. It's a very special night. So I spent it with my family and then my girlfriend at the time. And so it was really special for me, just the accumulation of all the hard work it come down to that night.
So, Mike, what was the most challenging thing of that draft day back in 1980?
Well, it was just, again, the anticipation of that happening. But the neat thing for me, which made it easier, is that I knew that Michael Corrin was going to be drafted along with me. The Nets had the 6th and the 7th pick. They drafted us consecutively. We beat each other's brains out for 4 years.
I saw.
But then to have that guy come with you, it made that transition a lot easier.
Yeah, and you guys had some great battles back then. But for me, the toughest part, I think, was just the negotiations. Once you knew who you were selected by, and the negotiations came down to it. It got a little ugly at times, but I was glad to get it over with.
So we know things are a little bit different these days. Lucky for us, though, we'll have your insights throughout the evening as players from the ACC are selected in the first 2 rounds of the NBA draft. And you also want to follow us on Twitter at the ACC-DN. Tom Wormy, Mike Gminski, JR Reid will be with you throughout the evening. 2012, the NBA draft. That's the story from the ACC-DN studios.